Welcome back to this Anaheim Ducks franchise mode. Here we are at the end of the 2031 season, just before playoffs here. I guess I'll advance one more day. It looks like not everybody's played all their games. And we will do our season wrap up here. Now it looks like everybody's played our games. Yeah, and we won the President's Trophy by, what's that, 11 points. So yeah, very good team, 60 wins. And we'll do our season wrap up, and then we'll get into the season where the playoffs, where we're going to be playing the Oilers. So not the Canucks again in the first round, but we have played the Oilers at least once in our past two seasons here. See if we can three-peat. So Anaheim, Toronto, New Jersey's still really good. LA's back up at the top. Those are all the good teams. Bad teams, Rangers, Sharks are still down there. Yeah, still the same struggling teams for the most part. Goals for per game, not us this year. I think this is the first year for at least 2-3 seasons that we haven't had the most goals for. New Jersey's always been a high offense team, but we're better defensively, looks like. Second in goals for, second in goals against. Second in power play, and third in PK. So we're a very, very good team still. And yeah, let's look at our points. So Zegras, the only one this year. We don't have a 300-point line, but Zegras, for the second year in a row, hits 100 points. Oh wow, for 4 years in a row now, he's hit 100 points. So he's turned into something that I'm not sure he even will in real life. So 45 goals. That's a really good line. Putting Carlson up there has been really good. This is the third year, I think, of that. Yeah. Fiala is still good. That's good with that contract there. Compare that to last year. Yeah, doing well. Not scoring as many goals as I thought he would, but Terry, Byfield. I feel like Byfield was on a much higher pace in the middle of the season here. He's just not. If he can get in the 60 points, that's good. He's at least on a decent contract. Good contract. Nakis, this is his rookie year, I believe. After having 53 points in the AHL, he has 57 in the NHL on the third line. And again, super well-rounded. Stevenson on the third line. I think he's on the third line. Yeah, he's playing third line. Because Stamkos got taken off there. Trevor Moore in only 26 games came in and put 9 points up, so that's all good. Looks pretty good, and it looks like it was a good idea to take Stamkos out. That bottom line is still the struggling line defensively. Have to play them protected. And Zellweger was a point-a-game defenseman, and he dropped down a little, but I'm not too concerned about that. Him, Drysdale, Minchikov's really good two-way guy. Chikrin and Fabro played okay. +6. Hopefully that can improve that pairing. Look at that, +54 for Roy. Mostly our defensive defenseman at 36 now. Clara was our starter this year. And he was good. Both our goalies were good. Alexander, again, he only played maybe one game and didn't play very well in it. Luckily, haven't had too many injuries. So best goalie, Gustafson. We traded him. He had the most wins, but he's not as good. Looks like Dustin Wolf probably. Very good season from him. He miles ahead of the pack. Rookie skaters, it is Nekis. And I guess they might give it to this guy because he had 40 goals. I honestly would give it to him. We haven't looked at rookie goalies once this year, and that's not even that bad of a season. 29 wins, 902, but don't think it'll win. Morrissey again. He's got to be close to 1,000 points now. He's over 1,000 points. Josh Morrissey has over 1,000 points. That's actually a little ridiculous. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Lev Shunov really turned out. Has he had? No, he just had a breakout season. They must have found a good partner for him or something. Got some offense. There's five really good offensive defensemen, so I guess that's not too unrealistic. McAvoy's injured actually there. Pasternak at 34 has 77 goals. That's pretty crazy. Matthews. Yeah, he's the only 60 and the only 70-point goal scorer. This guy's just an assist god. But we're happy with Marner. Yeah, had the best plus minus. Top 2 pairing right there. And that's our second pairing too. Chicago. That's interesting. A lot of different players there. Penalty minutes are still down. Kind of glad we got rid of this guy. His discipline's 86, so he must. I think he just fights, eh? Pasta 425. He's the new Ovi, really. Who's getting shorthanded points? Josh Morrissey. Interesting. Quinn Hughes, most time on ice. Shane Wright again with the hits. Not sure if that's accurate, but just kind of how the game goes. Fights, are they still just going down? Oh, Middleton's back. I don't know how much he played last season. Yeah. Back playing it. He hasn't played a full season for a while. So he's back fighting. Geno's still in Tampa. That's crazy. Okay, let's get to the playoffs. Look at Edmonton's team. I know they still have McDavid. I'm pretty sure they still have Draisaitl. I think they're up at McDavid, Draisaitl. I think they're like 35, 36, 37 now. Yeah, 34 and 35. So McDavid, Draisaitl, Farabee. That's a good line. He's a real guy. Yeah. Pretty decent. They may have an injury, or they're just playing this guy. Defensively, they're pretty, like, solid. Other than, like, McDavid, Draisaitl. They're just kind of, like even. Like, solid. Skinner's still there. Had a 9-11 last playoffs. He was bad this season. He actually hasn't really been good for at least a few seasons. So hopefully we can break that out. Bouchard's injured, so that's their big defenseman. We'll have to look how far he is, because that'll really change their defense. They'll scratch Ristolainen. Like, they have NHL defensemen, they're just not that great. Compared to our defense, it's nothing. So yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but we'll see if we can three-peat with Stamkos. He hasn't done that before. Yeah, he's out for the entire playoffs, Bouchard. So I don't think any excuse. We beat them last time, so let's get in here. I think it's Clara starting the playoffs for us, and he earned it. Win both our games at home. Win the first game in Edmonton. Zegras 3 points in 3 goals in 3 games, and we sweep them. And now we're looking at LA, Vancouver. Looks like Vancouver's winning. I think LA was actually the higher seed in that. I think Vancouver was a wild card. No, they couldn't have been. That's 2 and 3. I think Vancouver was 3 and they actually won. So let's go see Vancouver. We've played them every playoffs. Like even the first one there before we won the cup, we played them after they won the President's Trophy and then beat them to make it to the second round, and then we lost in the second round. So pretty similar to Edmonton, just they only have Pettersson. Danault's a good third liner, probably still at 38. Quinn Hughes, the Norris Trophy winner, at least 2-time, and probably will win it again this year. Askarof's got a 946 in 5 games, so he's really turned up. How long has he been in Vancouver? This is his first year in Vancouver. Signed a pretty big contract. So yeah, they're a good team. They're better than Edmonton, but let's just say if they're better than Edmonton, we can beat them in 5 or 6 games rather than 4. We've just got, like, they've got depth, but our depth is just, like, significantly better than theirs. Like, our entire team. Oh, and our goalie went down. So it's the same as last season. And he's out for the month. So it's pretty much the exact same as last season. Just, he lost the game, and it's the other goalie. So it'll be Mr. Klang in there. And he loses. I think it should have. I'm gonna have to optimize our lines now that we lost 2 games in a row. It should have just automatically put him in there rather than Alexander. So yeah, Klang put his 1 full game. Not great. I guess he played the 2 games. It looks like he played quite a bit of that game in the loss, so he basically has 2 losses. Not great, but we're going to have to give him 1 more shot. That second pairing is struggling a little where from the full, what am I trying to say, from the regular season. They were dominant. So 12 points. 11 points, 10 points, 8 points, 4 points, 10 points, 3 points, 2 points, 2 points, 1 point, 0 points, 1 point. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to scratch Misa, bring Stamkos in. Byfield hasn't been putting up points. He's not really a points guy, so let's put Stamkos up there. Give him the shot. He didn't play during the season because he wasn't doing great defensively on the third line. But he still has very good offense. Put Nakis on the 4th line here. Maybe not. Just bump Stevenson down and then bump Byfield down. And hope we can do it there. Stamkos, you want it. You weren't able to three-peat with Tampa. See if you can do it here. And Troy Terry went down, but it looks like he just got a minor injury to his wrist. I guess it's going to be Gage Alexander we're giving the shot to. That's awful. That's actually so incredibly bad. We got Tarnowski here. 2 years in the AHL. Just ridiculously good. I think the AHL team is still in the playoffs. If we lose another game, we're done. Alexander made 9 saves. I guess we pulled Klang. Give him the chance. He hasn't played much hockey in the past 5 years or whatever, but maybe he can just do it. He's 6'6", so. And Matt Roy's injured too, so. Playoffs, just we get all the injuries. I should have maybe put Troy Terry on a different, or, okay, that worked. And Alexander let in 3 goals, but it worked. Because that means I left Misa on the second line, which he's an offensive guy. He didn't do anything. But we will put in Terry again. Still 921, pretty good. And Mr. Roy is out. I didn't even see how long he's out, but we ought to just keep winning. Did I put Alexander in there? Please let us win. Okay, we did. I think we moved Alexander in there. Yep. Keep going with the hot guy. Get us to the 3rd round here if you can. And we lose. Well, that's 5 goals in. So Zegers with 20 points in 11 games. So clearly he wanted that 3rd one. That top line, 29 and 9, or 2019 and 9, 19 and 19. So that top line just off our offense, but couldn't carry our defense, I guess. Byfield wasn't horrible. 7 points in 11 games. It's about his standard. Stamkos had 1 point in 11 games. So, oh, where is he? 1 point in 4 games. Kind of hope he retires here. We didn't do it, so maybe it's the Stamkos curse, but we didn't even make it to the finals. Yeah, Claire was playing incredible, and Alexander played awful, like actually awful in that last game. And Klang, I think you definitely screwed yourself out of some money there. Clara needs a contract too. So that'll be something interesting to see. Let's sim ahead to the end of the playoffs. I guess now we can watch the AHL. It's been a while since we did that. They're in the Western Conference Final. Up 1-0 against Texas. Lose a game. They win it. We could send Nakis down, I think, but we'll leave it. Okay, let's go see if we can send Nakis down, give him some firepower. Give the Calder winner, send them down, the NHL Calder winner. See if you can win a second Calder. Get it, because the AHL trophy is called the Calder. Yeah, good joke. He lost morale for getting sent down from a team that's not playing any games to a team that is in the Calder Cup final. I think it was. Alright then. Like, look at that AHL team. Like, that's like a rebuilding NHL team. Gonna have to get a big game from Tarnasky. Oh, whoops. They lost. At home. Can they win on the road to bring it back home for Game 7? They can. And they lose at home. Too bad. So let's look at awards. The Maple Leafs win the cup. So there's us winning the Presidents. It's a curse, actually. But the last two teams made it to the cup final and then we beat them. I don't know, looking at this, has any team won both? Not in the last 5 years. I think Winnipeg did it in like the first or second year. So it's Vancouver against Toronto. Nice. So we lost, was it Vancouver we lost to? Yeah. We lost to the eventual cup, the eventual team to go to the cup. They, whatever. So Pasternak wins the Art Ross. Makar wins the James Norris. Nylander 2 years in a row, Lady Bing. Our guy, I think this was the guy who had 40 goals. It might not even been the guy who had 40 goals. Nylander wins the Conn Smythe. Wolf wins the Vezina and the Jennings. This guy wins the Jack Adams again. I think he's been on, I guess he's been on Tampa this whole time. McDavid wins the Frank J. Selke. In his old age, oh, that's his second time he's won it. In his old age, he's turning into a defensive guy. And three years in a row, Pasta won the Rocket. He might pass Ovi now, although Ovi got like almost 1,200 goals. So, maybe not. So let's see who we have to re-sign here. Now we're no longer an NHL Cup winning team, so Clara's a RFA at least. Klang, we might let you go, buddy, because you're asking for money. You were replaceable in the season as like a 1B. And you had a good season as like a split time. Or decent season. He's only had that one season, and then this one was okay. He hasn't played more than 41 games. He's played 57, but he wasn't good. In the playoffs, he had 3 good years in a row, but he only played 12, 11, 11. He was really good in the second cup run there. But Clara, it's probably time to give you the shot. If you want to actually take, like, I'm not going to sign you to that. Or maybe I should offer you, since you're only asking for 7. I should maybe see if I can get some sort of discount on this. Like say like 625. I really don't like paying goalies if it's not hard to tell. And that like could line up perfectly for getting Tarnasky. And holy, our 47 overall goalie grew up to 60. While not very good in the NLA. So, NHL wise, there's our top, well, Roy was in our top 4. He wants some money. Not very offensive, pretty good defensive. How much money do we have? 15 mil. So if our goalie takes that contract, we'll have like 9. 9.5. Who else do we have that's expiring? Not anybody else really. So I think we can offer Roy that contract. Just for 1 year. 4.4 for a year. Hopefully he can, I mean he was plus 54. He was the leading plus minus guy this year, so clearly him and Zellweger worked pretty well together. Fabro, we brought you in during the regular season. You were plus 6. Playoffs, you had 2 points even. Kairu. Ha! What is that? I might just like see in free agency who could be our bottom pairing guy there. NHL, Nakis is an 86. Gonna have to come back and prove that he should have got the call there maybe, after leading in rookies. Stevenson I might let go. He had a better season this year for us than last year. Only 2 points in the playoffs. Like, since we lost, it's almost like I want to give another people a shot. I think Fiala's last year on the contract, so that's good. Terry's, like, that's getting interesting because he still has 4 more seasons after this. 33, maybe should have given a couple of years less. I'm assuming we should look if that's on his progress report. Ludwig, are you gonna want money? It's ridiculous. Like, you're an AHLer. Not even a great one at that. Just a regular first line AHLer. I feel like all these are just saved for figure it out in free agency period. Because other than that, we got a top 4 defenseman, and then the rest are just bottom guys. So let's get up to the draft here. Let's look at our progress reports so we can see what our old guys, if they've been... Oh, and Clara actually accepted that, so that's pretty good. No movement in the lottery this year. Let's see if Stamkos maybe retired. I mean, it's only like 3.25 million, but we could use that money. We might trade him if he doesn't. Doesn't look like he did. Tavares with 1,500 points. Goes to the Devils. He played in Winnipeg and LA after that. Chandler Stevenson retired there, so we don't need to make a decision about him. Morrissey retires at 36 after basically being gypped of the Norris. Josh Norrisy with 1,000 points. I guess he hit 1,000 points this season. Trouba. I don't think Morrissey's gonna quite put up that many points. Hellebuck retires, so it's just all the old Jets stayed on the Jets the whole time. He's been the hard starter this whole time. Imagine that if he's the starter on the Jets until 2031. I mean, with that contract, it looks like he is. Is this the end of his contract? I guess, yeah. So we'll have to think about that as a Jets fan. Stevenson's the only one retires from us. 800 points, not bad. Won at least 3 Stanley Cups. I don't know what he won before coming with us. Oh, I forgot to look for Ovi when he became a coach there. That's too bad, but whatever. A franchise center is in the draft. It's been a while since we saw that. I think we have our first. It'll be in the mid-20s. Nothing really that interesting here. Low elite defenseman. Right-handed defenseman. Could be a guy we take. An elite goalie going in the 6th round. He had good stats as a backup in the USHL. Could be, like, we don't really need something like that. What's this gem here? Probably just a looks like he could be like a power forward or something. Could be guy we could look at taking off the board in the first. We're getting to that point where we're far enough in this mode that it's this guy's interesting. The draft becomes a little bit interesting. A lot of gems, our scouts this year. Defensive zone play, character, shot blocking. I just don't like that these guys are probably like low top sixes. I like all these guys, they have good strengths. Like strengths that I want on my team. There's a lot of information here now. Normally our scouts aren't this accurate. Grinder here. 19-year-old. Could look at taking him. I'm not too concerned about our drafting right now. Because it's not like we would ever be going for a major rebuild. Like it'd be like a retool where we're not trading for picks, we're trading for the exact prospects or players that we want. A lot of guys there pinned. So let's look at our progress reports. So Zegras had some stat growth. Interesting. So he's just like maintaining his stat growth, I guess. Some natural decline from Marner at 34, so that's interesting. Nucky's, oh, it's mostly stat growth for him, so that's important to remember. Terry, that's the guy, oh, it's all natural decline, that's a little scary. And it's like stat growth keeping him up there. Fiala, probably all natural, yeah. Some stat minuses from Roy. I guess because he wasn't putting up much points. Clara, mostly stat growth. Who do we have here? This is this guy. This was our first rounder, I think. So that's good that he's growing the most of some of our guys. He's a sniper, I believe. This guy's still growing well. I like to see that. He's a 6th rounder, still 19 there. Stamkos just... We'll probably look to ship him off. Probably attach a pick to him. Find a rebuilding team. Maybe just send him back to Tampa. Let's just check how much cap space we have here. We have 7 mil. We don't really have guys to sign. Like, we're probably going to have to sign a right-handed shot third pairing defenseman, which could be like $4 million for a good one, but... And that's our top 8 there. After that, like, Leach is signed, so that's 9. Misa's signed, I guess that's 10. After that, we've got 3 guys here, which could make up the rest of it, if we sign them. We've got all these guys who have been here for a while that we could still play. Like, I mean, Stamkos, we could keep him. But it's like, this gives us a little bit more freedom and gives some of these other guys a shot. I mean, they've all been here for a while. But like, Ludwig's still young. Keep Lundestrom in there. I think, well, how much was this more want? So then Ludwig, he'd be just like qualified and then sign his qualifying offer. Stamkos might send him back to Tampa. I'll see if Tampa's bad and if that's realistic to. Tarnowski will be the AHL backup or the NHL backup. And then it'll be McCollum and maybe bring this guy in to be the AHL backup. I'll probably sign an AHL goalie just to be either the scratch or the backup. How good was Tampa? I don't remember seeing them exactly at the top or the bottom. They're good. So, what's a bad team? Like, I don't really want to send. Maybe I could help out the Sharks or the Philly, who's been bad for a long time, and overpay to get rid of them. Where does Stamkos want to retire? San Jose? I don't know if he wants to go to Man Jose. Philly? I don't know if he wants to go there either. Tampa sounds pretty nice to me. The Rangers are going to get a franchise forward here. Let's just see if anybody wants him. And we'll say to get rid of that contract we have to attach. I was going to say a second, but I guess we gave up our second. We'll say, is there even someone we want to pick with our first? We could just like trade back to get him. This will just give him, like, even if we don't need it for free agency right now, it'll give us space because I don't think he really at 3 million, or even in general be like, we could take this guy or this guy all the way back here. But let's say trade first for a third. I think our pick was mid-90s. Who else do we maybe want? There's this guy who we liked, or not. Just kind of good overall. After that, there's not really anybody. We could trade him for like a couple later ones. Because after that we have... That guy's not that good, but 135, 150, 168, 190. $135, that will be too late to get that. So get like a 140 and a 160 pick back. And then see if anybody wants him. Just the last year of his contract. Nobody wants Stamkos. Okay, we'll send him to a bad team. Is Florida bad? Conservative buyer. Just send him to a seller that's not in our division, because there's no reason to help out someone in our conference. Carolina. Would Stamkos go to Carolina? Go hang out with Brindamore? Or Boston? I don't think he wants to go to a crazy market. Vegas? That's in our division, but Stamkos to Vegas? Maybe we'll send him to Vegas. Pittsburgh, Philly, Ottawa. Definitely not Montreal. What about Toronto? Go back home? Finally send Stamkos to Toronto? No. Let's send him to Vegas. And then we wanted... We'll just take these two. 2/5. And... a fourth. This fourth. There we go. Okay, so now we have 92. That should be good to get that guy. Like I'm actually not even sure which guys like I actually really like in this. This guy, power forward, pretty good. This guy, I like his strengths. Same with this guy. And this guy, he's 19, so 92, the guys at 95 should be perfect. So an elite grinder center who's kind of low in everything but skating and physicality. So that's a project for sure. So our next pick's at 140. I might even be earlier than that. So we'll take you. Because you've got good strengths. I like your strengths even though you're a center playmaker that's 5'9". Not bad. Could grow. So we traded for 2/5. So that means we have 3/5, I think a 6th and a 7th. So we have 5 more picks. We have 5 more guys here. Do we want all 5? Like the goalie's not really... You know what, we'll just go with what the scouts tell us to take. The grinder's good, even though he's 19. This guaranteed low elite, 18, 6'4". Power forward. List as enforcer, but he'll probably be two-way. 6'5", 215. Oh wait, he's a defenseman. So probably, yeah, two-way defenseman. Defensive defenseman. So I guess our last pick is at 220. Is this the 6th round? It could be just in perfect time to get this guy. I'll just take our guys here. Like the odds of, like now our teams are so good. Like if we're competing, the odds of these guys actually playing aren't super high. They need to have growth like that Nakis did. This guy's probably a low 6. Oh, he's an elite, okay. I don't think I've taken one low 6 or low 4 this whole franchise mode. So we're probably gonna release Clang. You go get the bag somewhere else. We'll leave you unsigned for now, because we don't want to have you in the AHL if you're not good enough. And we'll release both these guys to see what's in free agency. People aren't gonna like that we're releasing guys, but so that's our 7th. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like our team's staying exactly the same in the AHL. We've just got a good group of guys who keep re-signing and playing well, winning almost every year, coming close. That Charnquist was kind of disappointing. Wasn't he like our very first draft almost? second. No, he was our first draft. Probably one of our first few picks. And I remember when I took him, I was like right D, left D, top 6 guy, 2-way defender. I could see him playing, and he never even grew far enough for us to think about giving him the chance, even for part of a season. So, little too bad, but we gave him the whole chance. He's still on the top pairing, like even last year. Dion Chio, just watched him in his last game with Switzerland in the World Juniors a couple days ago. Ludwig is going to be qualified. Moore, I think, will sign. Lundestrom, I think I want you. So you're a 2-way contract now. That's awesome. Because then that's our 13 if Ludwig is in it. 10, 11, 12, Lundestrom. And then if Ludwig isn't, then Pastujov, or we could finally give these guys a chance. These guys haven't even got a game in the NHL yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like even this guy. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2. Braden Bitts. I'll sign you. Probably won't make it past your first contract, but. And this guy I'd like to play. We almost might have too many now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 extra. Is there anybody I want to release? No, I'll just bring everybody back. We can move them in a trade if we need to clear up spots. Probably be a chance to move him in a trade. This guy also, like, yeah, sniper. Most likely won't make it past his first contract. Or he'll just be an AHLer for us. See how long DeLeo can last in the AHL for us? 35 now. Probably going to start regressing this season. Because he was around 73, 74 the whole time. Not really anybody to resign here. Moore and Lundestrom. Okay, so neither of them accepted. So, I mean, I'm fine with leaving them to free agency if they don't want to. I tried to give you 2 years, so maybe you just want 1 year. Make it $1 million in the AHL. I guess that's not realistically. If they're in the AHL, that wouldn't be their AHL salary. This would be if they're in the NHL, but. Neither of them want to come back. I guess I'll offer Lundestrom a 1-way. Because he's good. Hasn't played in the NHL for a while, but he definitely can play. And then if we need to, we can trade for a different guy, but the regular season hasn't been the problem for us recently. Moore might not like that we're trying to only give him a year. Okay, he accepted, so we got almost 8 million. Ludwig, you're getting as little as possible because you've played 3/4 of one NHL season before, and you weren't very good. So Fiala is the only guy. I'm just gonna be glad you're not making 10-3 anymore. We knew that when we traded for the contract, but see if we can extend you. No, okay. So we gotta look for a defenseman in free agency. I think I have time here. Just look at quickly a right defenseman, and other than that, that's really it. We have 8 mil, so if there's a guy we really like. Your check. Put him on our 4th pair, or our 3rd pair. Bring this guy to be a goon for us again. He was just super young when he was on our team. That was 2026, 2027 was when we traded him, and he would have been 21 years old. I don't need to look at goalies. So I guess there's RFAs. Oh, there's no RFAs, they're all UFAs. So I want a good defensive guy, like Chernak would be cool. But maybe like a two-way guy that's defensive. Jones could be interesting, he's got good offensive too. Benning. Wasn't this the guy who's racist? Oregon. I'm gonna spend because bring in a vet because we're going for it. We want to be good. And I will just sim up here because we don't really have anything else to do. Jones accepted, so I'll sim ahead here, and then we will see if I can get to the regular season. Alright, so I got Ludwig signed 2 years at league minimum one-way deal, and I signed a goalie for the AHL. So next video, I'll end that video there, and next video I'll have our lines set up. I'll show you those, and we'll get into the regular season. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.